Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? Welcome. It's the one and the only Tusk Talk with Ty YouTube show. Right here, exclusively on YouTube. Yeah, it's been a couple days. You know, Sunday night was our last live show. Kind of trying to get prepared for the next, well, first off, Patreon's been, of course, fire. Patreon chat's been wild. Please be sure, if you haven't already, make sure you go and check that out. Appreciate the retweets, by the way. I see you, John Haas. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, so we've been dealing with the transfer portal side of things. I will tell you guys the next 2 weeks, I don't know if I'm going to have a schedule for streaming or not. I really am going to, going to just keep up with the portal in Discord with Patreon members. Probably not going to, produce a ton of live content. Basketball, we're going to get a little break in there. So I'm going to try and spend time with the family. The wife is taking off work for a week. Obviously, the kids are going to be out of school for the next 2 weeks. So I'm going to spend some more time with the family, which means I might fall a little bit behind in some areas. And, just part of it. I haven't had like a full week off on YouTube in probably since, July. So I'm ready to just kind of kick back a little bit, take a little bit of time, but also still staying on top of things as best I can. And of course, if there's breaking news, I'm going to probably react to it, go live over that period of time. Okay, we have a poll up. We do have a poll up. The job so far in the transfer portal by Arkansas. 26% of you say great. 58% of you say decent. I think that's fair. 11% of you say bad. 5% of you say really bad. Okay? I kind of thought that would be at like maybe 1%, but we're just now climbing in on votes, so too early. Too early to say, but feel free to take the poll there. Yeah? Okay. Much to discuss. First off, shout out to Direct Service Overhead. The Garage Door Company, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results, hundreds of 5-star reviews. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. Their link is also in our Discord, and it's down below in the description box. So, all right. Yay! We're back, man. I will say this. Saturday, I probably won't be doing the post game for North Carolina A&T. For North Carolina A&T. Nobody has called me out in Discord for that, by the way. I posted in the predictions North Carolina A&T with the AT&T logo. No one has said, hey, Ty, you messed that up. It's actually A&T. No one's called me out. I'm a little disappointed, and I'm not even sure you guys read the prediction, like the headline or the title. I don't even know what you guys do. Are you reading the damn thing or not? Like the write-up and everything, What are you just ignoring it? What a blow to the ego. No one. I really thought I was clever. I really thought I was clever with that. I guess not. Anyways, North Carolina A&T. That's going to be a 1:30 tip-off. So, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I don't plan on doing the postgame for it. And then we get a 9-day break. So, again, that is, in that time span, I might release some shorts, some YouTube shorts. Don't plan on any edited content or any real live content. Again, unless there's something like big that we need to talk about. So, kind of promise the wife and the kids we'd spend more time. Because this does take, you may only think I only got, I'll go live 3 or 4 times a week and that's it. No, there's so much that goes into each one of these shows. There's so much that goes into Patreon. There's so much that just goes into Discord in and of itself. It's a weird full-time job. It's a weird one. The hours are weird. Sometimes you feel like you don't really get a day off to just sit and not pay attention to Arkansas sports. But we have that gap of time there between the 21st and the 30th. So this means really there's a possibility this will be the last live show before Christmas. So I hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. If this is indeed the last time. There's 4 days there. We might go live once after that. We'll see. We shall see. Join Discord, says Michael Kerper. That's it, man. Y'all need to get in there. Shout out to John Haas. John Haas, by the way, has been doing a really good job in predictions. In Patreon chat. There's several people in there, and of course we have the one and only Courtney Mims, who's in there as well, feeding it. She's on vacation, but she has been crushing it with giving us some really good, intel stuff that wouldn't get her in any kind of trouble, but things that she's just kind of hearing around the grapevine. So it's been awesome. There's a copyright strike. Thanks a lot, Darth Vader, on my text message alert. What was I saying? Oh, there's of course the along with Patreon, you guys know it's the target list. The thing that we're kind of struggling with right now is figuring out where to put what information. That's been a real challenge because the portal discussion page, which now I had to change the name to Portal Cruton Only. I mean, even I'm guilty of it. We're getting stuff in there that's not really about the topic at hand, which is portal and just portal recruiting and intel. We're getting that information, but it gets flooded with other content. It's either memes or GIFs, and again, I'm guilty of it too. And it's flooding out or drowning the good information. So we're trying to put you guys, what I may end up doing is completely closing that chat off to only the people with information, which is also tricky. It's tricky, but there is really good stuff in there. And then we also started the portal names thread, which, again, Patreon supporters can go in and look at. We do have some names added to that list. So if you want to go look at it, would you just look at it? If you want to go look at it and you're a Patreon supporter, go take a look. John's added some names, and there's another name added today. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. All right. Well, as you can see on the screen here, we're going to talk a little Hog Hoops. Wait, what is this? Nuh-uh, that can't be real. No way. He just went into the portal. Like 30 seconds ago. I just saw he went into the portal. Oh my God. And he just committed to Arkansas. What? What? What's going on? No way. Oh my God, dude. Holy crap. From Louisiana. Oh my God. What a get. He just committed. On3's reporting it. Bobby Boucher has committed to Arkansas from the SC LSU Mud Dogs. He has committed to Arkansas. Oh my God. What a get. Oh my God. This dude's story is insane. His background is wild. This dude was the water boy. Oh my God. What a get. We're back, baby. We're back. Oh, I can't believe it. Tears of joy streaming down my face. Two-way player. Mud Dogs MVP. This dude averaged 25 tackles a game. Sacking quarterbacks left and right. This dude was the water boy. High quality H2O. Oh, that was mean. I shouldn't have done that. All right. I was put up to that. Okay. Now my boy owes me money. I was put up to that. All right. I'm sorry. Hog fans. I'm sorry. I was told to do that, and I did it. I was sent this screenshot. My boy said, bro, I dare you. Do it. I did it. All right. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. Oh, man. Gatorade. H2O. What a movie. I mean, what a player. God, that was mean. That was so mean. A for effort, though. All right. What's Adam Sandler's? I know he's like in his 50s, but isn't he like 5'8"? And he's playing a linebacker. And look how ginormous those pads are. Look how huge those pads are, dude. Yeah, that's the way it was in the 90s. I've got a picture of me and my Ramey Junior High. The pads are like above my head. Dude, but this movie it changed the way you look at football. Not really. It's just a really good comedy. I'm not reading chat. Y'all are probably pissed. He said, you got to sell it. That's his exact words. You got to sell it. I dare you. So now I expect some money in my Cash App right now. All right. Let's get all right. Let's go. Let's do this. I'm getting DMs everywhere now. Let's get into hoops. Hold on, I gotta read your comments really quick. Okay, it's not that bad. All right, we're good. Not that many comments. Travis. Oh man, bro had me hyped. LMAO. You got my ass, Mello. I got you, Mello. Oh, I got you. Mama shares alligators armory because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush. It's the medulla oblongata. All right. So, let's start off really quick with Hog Hoops. This is a strange transition because oh man, I feel guilty. I feel really bad. Some of y'all were probably really hyped too. I apologize. All right, listen, he's cash apping me right now as we speak, or he better be. I was put up to that. I thought it was mean. I thought about it. I was like, all right, I'll do it. Let's start off really quick with Malachi. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. Malachi's going to Purdue. Going to follow Barry Odom. Interesting hire. I forgot the OC there, who he brought with him. It's not the go-go offense. It's a different coordinator. He's going to follow there. Guys, they were bad last year. Barry Odom's got his work cut out for him, but we know how this works. Right now, I think they only have I think Malachi is their only transfer in at the moment. So if I saw that correctly, they got a lot of building to do. And I'm sure they're going to wait for these teams to peel off out of the playoffs. But Barry Odom getting his quarterback of the future, Malachi. So good for Malachi. Wish him the best. Of course, we're going to be keeping an eye on. And what is it with Barry Odom and all these former Razorbacks? You know? I mean, it's not surprising guys like Catalan and Woodward and those guys following him over to UNLV. That's not really surprising, I guess. But, yeah, Malachi going there. I can't say that I really saw that. You know, I honestly thought he was going to head out. I'll be real with you. Either he was going to head out east or he'd end up in the Big 12. And really just do a number on those Big 12 defenses. But nope, going to Purdue. They were rough last year, man. They lost God. I remember at one point they had a losing streak. I'm pretty sure it was like 7 or 8 game losing streak. It was rough. So obviously they need to make a change. They bring in Barry Odom. That's going to be interesting to watch for sure. Hopefully they surround him with I want to see him do so good, man. I really do. I'm hoping the best for Malachi. Really hate that it obviously didn't work out here, but we'll see what they do. We'll see what Barry Odom does. I guess in some ways, I don't like to say adopt a team, but there'll definitely be someone I'm going to pin their stuff to my tabs. I'm going to pin what they're doing. Kind of keep up with it a little bit. Did you guys see? I'm going to pull this up if I can find it. Look at this. This is from Blake Lovell going to Arkansas basketball or going to SEC basketball. Look at those teams in their net rank out of the SEC. This is absurd. This is absurd, man. Never did I think this would be the case. And we've talked about the pedigree of coaches and the difference that's made in the SEC in just the last few years. I mean, you guys remember when I started doing this, I was saying it's time to move on from Mike Anderson. I think these other SEC teams, the conference can't stay where it's at forever. I mean, with everything working out the way that it is with the SEC network and the money that's being doled out, basketball's going to take advantage from that football revenue in the SEC eventually. And it did. And the pedigree of coaches – the pedigree of coaches are I mean, this is one of the after effects of that being the case. I mean, again, look at that. In Arkansas, who I still believe has one of the top 10, top 15 I definitely believe it's a top 15 roster. They're at number 48 in the net. And the way the season is set up, how many non-quad 1, quad 2 games are you going to play? All your road games are going to be quad 1, quad 2 in the SEC. That's about to rack up. So Joe Lunardi has, I think it's 13 teams out of the SEC currently in the tournament. Now that'll change. No, I don't think they'll get 13 in. I'm pretty sure that's a record. Hell, I don't know what the record is. We talked about this once before. I think we did. I think the Big Ten actually might own that. Either the Big Ten or the Big 12 might own that record, or they tied it of the amount of teams from the same conference in the NCAA tournament. They realistically could send 9 to 10. That almost feels guaranteed they're going to send 9 to 10 teams. And then it's like anything else is just a cherry on top. It's just absurd. Lunardi hates Arkansas. Has Arkansas, where did he put them at? An 8 seed? Was that right? 9 seed. Hogs currently a 9 seed. I think that's appropriate. They should be riding a 6-game win streak into conference play. They should be. If not, oh boys, we're okay. We're in some trouble if not. But considering who their opponents are leading up to the game on the road in Tennessee, I'm okay with 9 seed. I really am, because honestly, I would have guessed further back. I would have. They just haven't done. I mean, they haven't really. The Michigan game's big on a neutral floor. I know Miami's not great, but beating Miami at Miami, you're showing signs of life away from Bud Walton this early in the year. That's a really good sign. They're also winning games after trailing by double digits. They're making some of these games, they're 2 games that they lost. Okay, those are whatever, but those weren't against bad opponents, right? Now, earlier in the year, we wanted them to beat the brakes off of some of these teams they're playing, and they didn't. And it's like, okay, what's going on? That should have been a 25-point blowout, and instead it's, whatever. We've seen some of that this year. But they're starting to get it figured out. Arkansas basketball, they're starting to get healthy. Brazil is finding his place, especially on the defensive end of the floor. I'm telling you, man, if imagine having him finding finding the deep ball, finding the 3, him and Big Z on the floor at the same time. You can run, Brazil's athletic enough where you're not as concerned about him running back in transition on defense as you are maybe most other guys his size that play the position. He's pretty athletic, moves really well, but he's finding his spot, especially on the defensive end of the floor. Brazil's kind of been the story, really, of late for Arkansas between him and, of course, Big Z's shooting outside's been phenomenal. Best thing that ever happened to Trevon Brazil was Cal. You're right. Ty, don't start that Big Z stuff. Bro, what are you talking about? I thought you loved Big Z, Mello. My only thing about him is he's a little too slow. I mean, come on. He's a 7-footer, right? when they want to play fast-paced, transition ball, that is their strength, moving up and down the floor quickly. That is their strength offensively. It just is, because they can then on the other end of the floor, on the offensive end of the floor, they can use their athleticism to throw these guys, kind of like deer in headlights. That's what Arkansas is going to be capable of doing. I think even in the SEC, where that's going to be a lot of their offense, and that's, I say a lot, more than most other teams, right? Points in transition. But that's kind of Big Z's, I don't want to say it's his kryptonite, but it does feel like things slow down a little bit when he's on the floor. At times, not always. Ty, what's crazy? That this is probably going to be the least talented team Cal has here, says Boogie Fland for 3. Well, they're shaping up already for this next class to be insane. Mello says the SEC going to be tough. It is. You're not wrong, Mello. You're not wrong, man. Yeah, Adu, that's also true. Adu wasn't healthy, and that is fair. Adu was not healthy. You had now Nelly is still square peg round hole on offense. No doubt about it. On the offensive end of the floor, I still think he's square peg round hole. Still trying to figure it out. But he's gotten better. We're seeing improvement. Defensively, at times, he looks fine, right? Serviceable as a defender. Sometimes, I think some people have complained a little bit about his inability to switch quickly and kind of gets into the weeds a little bit on defense at times, kind of gets lost a little bit. I've not really noticed that as much. He's finding his place, and he is starting. His three-point shooting percentage is starting to climb. He's starting to find his spot as well. It's just not at the same pace as like where Brazil is finding his game and his presence on the floor. Again, if Brazil becomes a two-way player where you can expect 14, 15 points a night, I don't know if he'll get there or not, and can also get 2-3 blocks. He's altering shots, creating turnovers, doing his thing defensively, being really tough around the post, quick enough that he could switch and do what he needs coming off on ball screens. If he does everything that we've always wanted to see him do, whether it's on offense or defense, if he comes close to what we think he's capable of, I don't know. I don't know. Arkansas is going to be a handful. And again, like we talked about, Adu getting healthy, Big Z, whose minutes are going to start climbing back up because of health. They're finding their spot. But again, I don't have a big issue with them at a 9. In fact, you could have put them further back, and I wouldn't have been upset. Now, if you're a bottom 2 seed, yeah, I think they're better than that. Hogstats tweeted this out, I think this was 2 days ago, where Boogie Fland stats so far rank in the categories in U of A freshman history. I don't have the tweet up or I'd show you guys, but right now he's averaging almost 16 points a game. That's 5th among all U of A freshmen ever. Nearly 1.9 threes made per game. That's 6th among all freshmen ever. 4 made free throws per game, or 3.5, number 4. He's at 5.7 assists per game. That's number 3. And think about it, you've had some pretty decent freshman point guards. It's been a while. But that's, again, good enough for 3rd. He's averaging close to 2 steals a game. That's number 5. 39% outside shooting so far. That's good enough for top 10. That's number 10. And he's number 4 at the free throw line among all freshmen in U of A history at 86%. Assist to turnover ratio, he's number 1 so far. We'll see when the dust settles after the regular season, but he's at a 2.86 on assist to a turnover ratio. That's nearly 3 more assists than turnovers. That's outstanding. That's not something you expect out of a true freshman point guard. It's not, or kind of a combo depending on who you have on the floor, but he's most definitely the point guard. He's the one on the floor. He's fantastic. And the craziest thing is, I know performance-wise some of these numbers are going to drop a little because your caliber of opponent is about to increase. We've really only seen him go quiet in, 2 games? Am I off the top of my head? Maybe 2 games. On the road, you kind of wonder how he responds there. But so far, man, I mean, again, he's been pretty solid wherever he plays. At home, neutral floor, away from home. could be wrong about his away from home numbers. I don't have those like in my head, but he's playing out of his mind. And the craziest thing is, like, he's still trying to figure it all out. You know, like, there's still the development can be said. It's true for all sports. It happens when you play opponents. That's a key part of your development. It's getting on the field and or floor in this case, but it's also true in football and baseball. Development on the field can happen in live play against opponents. And I think he's still got a little ways to go. I think he can actually be better. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean the stat box is going to follow, that he's going to get 22 points a game. He's going to have 7 assists a game. You know, that his turnovers come down to 1 per game. Like, I'm not saying that, but and it's something, again, that may not show up on the stat sheet, but you could see it in his play. There are times when he has his freshman moments. You know, like driving to the rim, and he's only done this like a couple of times. Driving to the rim, he's got a clean shot right at the rim. No, it's not contested. It's an easy layup, and then he just dips the ball off. And that's him trying to be unselfish is what that is, because he's an unselfish player. I love the way this dude plays. He could go down. Guys, this is a possibility. And like someone said in chat, this may not even be Cal's best team at Arkansas. He could go down as the greatest freshman point guard to ever play at Arkansas. It's possible. Maybe one of the top freshmen to ever play. I mean, that's a lot. You've had some really good freshmen come and go, especially over the last several years, but he's special. And for some people, that's not even a stretch. I know some very good, very high-mind basketball people, guys that went to camp in high school that have paid really close attention to the game. They're betting on games. They're betting on players like they know. And they're telling me, like, no, Ty, he's going to go down as the greatest, maybe the greatest freshman ever at Arkansas. That's what they're betting on. Not literally betting on, but that's what they're saying. That's what they believe in their minds. He's going to go down as the greatest freshman. So it's really nice. It's really nice. It's great to have him on. Arkansas versus North Carolina A&T Aggies, not the AT&T Aggies. These guys are not good. 75 points per game. That's 209th in the country. They're 198th in rebounds per game at just 36.3 rebounds. They average 12 assists per game, which, you know, you would think that'd be a little better than 336th in the country, but that's where it's at. I would have thought 12 assists would put you somewhere in the top 200, 250 at least. 336. And then points allowed, they're giving up 79 points a game. They do have an Arkansan on their roster. They might actually have 2, but pretty sure it's 1. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. I just saw this and it stood out to me. Ryan Forrest, he's from Marana, Arkansas. I'm going to be real with you. I've never heard of the town. I think it's I want to say it's somewhere out east in East Arkansas. 6'4", 190. Marion, Arkansas. Not Mariana or Mariana, however you're supposed to pronounce that. It's Marion. Or maybe it is Mariana. It's I know that's out east somewhere. I have heard that. Now that it's starting to ring a bell. Anyways, this guy's pretty good. Mariana. That's it. So it is Mariana. Because if you type it in, I couldn't find it earlier. So there's a okay, it is Mariana. Okay, I know about Mariana. Yeah, that's okay, that's why. It is Mariana, because that's north. Is that not north of no, it's south of West Memphis. And then there's Marion. That's right. Okay. Marion, which is north of West Memphis. Okay. I'm glad we got that straightened out. Damn, I didn't know Mariana. I knew it was in East Arkansas. Yeah, just south of Forest City. That's right. Okay. Damn, Ty, I don't even know the four corners of your state. What the hell's wrong with you? 6'4", 190 pounds. That's where he's from. He's from Arkansas. He's a pretty good player, man. Pretty good player. Averages 18, right at 18 points per game. So who knows? Maybe he's on. Maybe Cal will pay attention to him. If this dude puts up those kind of numbers and does that on Arkansas, if he scores his average or above his average, that might be saying something, right? Ryan Forrest spells his name just like Forrest Gump. Forrest. Yeah. Guard. Oh, my back. Oh, Lord. Kelly Williams is Boogie, fun watching. Basketball Hogs, he's fun to watch. Boogie's just fun, man. Oh, King Command says Marion is West Memphis. Same shit. Okay. Maybe that's why I've never heard of it. Everyone just talks about West Memphis. Yeah. I get it. Brandon Hall wants to know, did Crutchfield commit? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that here in just a second. So, yeah, they're not good. North Carolina, AT&T, like their service, no good. They're not very good. They're what is their record? It's like 2-9 or something. Yeah. I mean, this realistically, I expect that spread. I expect that to come like Arkansas should be favored by quite a bit. 29, 30 points. I don't know. Yeah, no, they're 3-9, 1-7 away. So Arkansas, again, that's going to be at 1:30 on Saturday. So look forward to watching it. Now, again, if something crazy happens in this game, I might do a post-game reaction. I don't know. Maybe, but probably not. All right. We got bowl games coming up. Arkansas and Texas Tech is a little ways out, but if you don't know the opt-outs, it's kind of crazy for both teams. Arkansas right now obviously leading the way in opt-outs compared to Texas Tech. Arkansas, I'm going to find it, scrolling. Here we go. So Texas Tech, and this was as of like 2-3 days ago, there may be more, but Texas Tech with left tackle Dalton Merriman, who's got 488 snaps, he's in the portal. Trevin McAlpine, 284 snaps, defensive tackle, he's in the portal. Jordan Brown, he's in the portal, wide receiver, 153 snaps. Jalen Peoples, cornerback, well, that name's familiar, 135 snaps. Of course, Micah Hudson signed with A&M, so he's out. They do have some injuries. We know Morton, their quarterback, is going to miss. He's going to have surgery. Freshman Will Hammond, who did see some action this season, will start. So we'll obviously do a little homework on Will. Starting outside linebacker Harvey Dyson hasn't played since week 9, while starting defensive tackles Braylon Carroll, Quincy Ledet Jr. missed the finale. Yeah, I mean, they've got some missing pieces. Their only opt-out, it looks like, is Josh Kelly, wide receiver. And then the potential opt-out, maybe this has changed, Taj Brooks. Then you look at Arkansas side of things. It's not pretty, y'all. It is not pretty. I mean, we all know, right? Aston Nichols, Andrew Kudus. It's not Andrew Kudus. Why does it say Andrew Kudus? Joshua Braun, Centennia, Luke Has, the Metcalfs, Brad Spence, Nico Davier, Rashad DeBinion, Braylon Russell. God, who's going to run the ball? Ty Washington. Of course, that's old news. Amari Wiggins, a guy with 94 snaps. You thought he would maybe get an opportunity here to play, and you'd be fine with that because that's a guy that's got some experience. Nope. Jalen Braxton, we know he's signed with Ole Miss. And then, of course, Varkey's Gums. And the opt-outs are Andrew Armstrong, Jaquindon Jackson, and defensive end Landon Jackson. Although I didn't know that had been confirmed that Landon or that Jaquindon was not going to play in the bowl game. According to these guys, this is Action Network. Potential opt-out is Eric Gregory, which I'm pretty sure that's an opt-out. So like I said, this is about 2-3 days old. Arkansas, and there's a note down here at the bottom. Arkansas is down to just 6 healthy scholarship offensive linemen on the roster. 6 healthy players or offensive linemen. Bro, Green is toast. He's toast. And I know Texas Tech, they've got some hits on defense, and they're already not good on defense, but oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure there's some of you guys in chat who could probably line up on defense, and you're going to get some pressure on Green. Oh my goodness. It's brutal. Brutal. Let's take a look. I don't know if any of you guys are. Let's take a look at what Brothrow is saying here. Now, this is a peer-to-peer gambling site. If you guys want to do a little peer-to-peer action, you want to come in here and take a look, see what's happening, if there's any bets down. I just discovered this not long ago. We're starting to use their game intel, if you will. We're starting to use that in our predictions. And here they have, right now, you see the spread. This will change. Arkansas at -2. Over-under sitting at 54.5. You can open a bet. This is what's pretty cool about this site. I mean, you can open up a bet, and hopefully, someone will accept it. And they will. I've actually got one down on this game as we speak. I have one accepted for $5 right here with Alan B. I'm taking I don't know. I mean, I was just kind of checking it out, but I took the over on the 56.5. So, yeah. That's what we're looking at. Really easy to find games. And go back. And this is and these are all the bets on the game so far that have, I'm pretty sure, right down here is all the accepted bets. Well, Alan B, he's taking all kinds of, look at that. Alan's active. I am new to this site. Pretty cool. I have a group too, by the way. Right here, Tusk Talk with Ty. I'm gonna keep coming back, checking this place out, getting to know it a little better. I haven't sent out any invites for anyone to join this yet, but I will if you want to get in on it. Again, it is peer to peer. It is peer to peer. You're not, this isn't like any of the other online sites where you're up against, the brick and mortar, so to speak. You can accept friends. I got some friends. Austin Foster, John. Pretty neat. So that's what the game's looking at right now. And of course that will change as we get closer and closer. I agree, Ty. On which part? Ty, you just signed up for Tackling Fuel. Oh, that's great. Tackling Fuel. Gatorade. H2O. All right, let's get into the portal. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Let's go. Arkansas starting to figure this out. A lot of us were a little concerned, but there's also the understanding like more bigger names are starting to, hit the portal. You're starting to see some folks. One of them is this guy right here. Missouri wide receiver Courtney Crutchfield. He plans to enter the portal. If you haven't seen that, that's former Hog commit. He's out of Arkansas. He's from Pine Bluff, 4-star, big-time player. I mean, this is big time. But no one's shocked by this. He does have a crystal ball, and I think it's Trey Biddy who has it in for Arkansas on 247 Sports. This is big. Here's his height. Now, On3 does not have his portal. I don't know if he just hasn't officially put his name in. If I can expand this a little bit. This is big. This is big. 6 foot. Now, he's 180. I think he's 188 pounds now or 180. But big-time player. He was member of the 247 Sports 2024 Freaks list, and he played basketball and track in high school. Yeah. That's someone – listen, again, Patreon chat has known about this for a while, that this was going to happen. We had some pretty good information that leaked into that Patreon a little while back. I say leaked. I mean, someone mentioned it, and it certainly, at the time, no one really believed it, and it turned out to be true. If you were in Patreon, this was, yeah, John's right. This was called out in our Patreon. This was brought to our attention. So, again, this guy, he may not officially be in the portal yet. I'm not sure what On3's holdup is. I didn't see his portal ranking. But here's the announcement. And is this not On3 by itself? This is On3. Oh, come on. Yeah, this is On3's site. So I don't know. Maybe I was looking at the wrong thing. But anyways, he's in the portal. I mean, we know this. He's in. Unless he pulls his name out, I don't know. That's a big one. Courtney Crutchfield is a big, big target in the portal. This is someone you got to get. Let's be real. The guys they have so far at wide receiver, well, who we expect to come back, I don't know that I'd put any one of them above Courtney right now. I mean, this dude is a really special talent. Remember how bummed we were when this cat committed and signed with Mizzou. So that would put him, if you could bring him in, by the way, it's a big push for your total rank on 247 Sports, who only ranks, by the way, the actual class coming in itself. I like that approach. I like that. Let's just rank the players coming in, have their own separate rank, the transfer rank. I think that's the appropriate way to do that. So shout out to 247, from little old me for doing that right. But that would be another big get. Raylan Sharp is the other receiver, and I realize there's experience there you have to work with. 5'9", 165 pounds. PFF numbers don't blow you away. He does have, the one thing that stands out about Raylan Sharp is that he is catching 74% of his targets, and that's a lot. That's a very good number. The further north, now depending on your targets, right, the amount of targets you have, it's just like shooting in basketball, right? The more shots you have, obviously your percentage is going to come down. It's similar to catching the ball, right, and being targeted. How many of your targets are you catching? What's your drop rate look like? But he's caught 51 of his 69 targets. Again, that's 74%. So he's obviously committed to Arkansas. Cam Shanks is another guy. Not real big, 5'8", 180 pounds. He's catching 69% of his 91 targets. That's pretty good, 63 and 91. He played a lot of snaps out of the slot. Like most of his snaps came out of the slot. PFF grades don't blow you away. There's not anything that stands out. 62 catches is nice for almost 660 yards. I mean, he's averaging close to 11 yards per reception, 6 touchdowns. I mean, hell, that's 5 more than Andrew Armstrong had, and that's not a slide on him at all. It's just, one, what are we doing? How did he not have at least like 6 or 7 tutties? What are we doing? So, yeah, those are a couple of, okay additions. This would be big. You're not going to get some of those other big names that came out. It doesn't look like. The other help they got, and we have his profile here, Jaden Platt. It's a big-bodied tight end, 6'5", 260. We don't have PFF grades on him. I have it noted here. He was red-shirted. He was a part of the 23 class, but he is signed with Arkansas. That ought to help. 6'5", 260. He's a little bit bigger than Luke has. Does Shamar Easter – you know what I want to see in this bowl game, and I was going to wait to talk about this till next week. Does Shamar Easter get enough snaps and maybe pile up a few targets enough to kind of buy into the fact that maybe he can play the position? Well, wide receiver. We know he's going to play wide receiver, but maybe, I suspect they may still line him up at tight end a little bit. That's what he practiced all camp. As far as I know, that's what he practiced all through the season. And considering how thin you are there, I don't know that they can afford to not move him or to not give him some snaps at tight end. I don't know. Or the point that I'm trying to make is that does he get enough snaps to show us that he's capable against a P4 opponent? Well, loosely P4 opponent in Texas Tech because it's the Big 12. Let's be real. Don't like Arkansas's odds, right? I mean, how thin they are. I think Fayetteville High can march out there and give them a ball game right now. They're just so paper thin. But can he do enough to instill some confidence that he can play whatever position you want to put him out on the field? And will he stick it out? And could he become like that, maybe the next opposite Trey Knox, right? Like the guy that moves from tight end instead and goes to wide receiver and shows that he could be a force on the field. I have a hard time seeing it. Just a thought. They got to figure something out, especially if they're going to – if they don't get someone like Courtney Crutchfield, and you do got to settle for these, these other receivers. I hate to say it. I don't know who else they're going to target. Now, there are some names I still need to get pinned to my target list here for Patreon supporters, but realistically, I don't know what they're going to do at the wide receiver spot because so far they're whiffing left and right on these wide receivers. Crutchfield is a priority. Make no mistake about it. Courtney Crutchfield is a priority. He'll be a redshirt freshman, and by God, that's who you're probably going to lean on. Now, I suspect they're going to go grab some older receivers with a little bit of talent, under the pads. They're going to grab someone that's going to help facilitate, the passing or the receiving part of this offense. You can't put it all on the shoulders of these redshirt freshmen from a year ago that don't hit the portal, or a freshman out of Warren, Arkansas, who I'm really hyped about, and a redshirt freshman out of the portal from Missouri. I don't know. I like Courtney a lot, but again, we're talking about a redshirt freshman, assuming he even signs with Arkansas, which all signs certainly seem to be like that is the case. He will end up a Razorback, most likely. I don't think Trey Biddy's – he jumped on that crystal ball quick. Like, I'm pretty sure as soon as that was up on 247, he put in – I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was like that, man. Be a good get. They also got this guy right here, Courtney Robinson. He's a Razorback. This is big. You guys are going to like this. 6'5", 305. This is one where I don't know what to make of some of his PFF numbers. However, really good, really strong pass block grades. Really strong. 1,648 career snaps, all at left tackle. Gave up, again, in his career, just 6 sacks, 30 hurries. Just 30 hurries on 1,648 snaps at left tackle. Last year, 538 snaps at left tackle, 0 sacks, just 3 hurries. This so far might be your strongest get out of the portal. Probably is. Now, again, we could talk about Quintale at Michigan State. I don't know, man. He seems like a depth chart fill. Doesn't really look like someone who I would trust to come in and start, but you never know. Caney Walker, defensive back out of OU. That's a good one. Jac'Qawn McCroy, we don't know enough about him. We know he's huge, and he was a 4-star out of high school. This guy has snaps under his belt, and he backed it up. Big time get out of the portal. Like him a lot. 6'5", 305. Again, pass block grade really high. We've got all of his information under the portal commit tab in Patreon Discord, so you can get all your information right there on him in one place. We've got it all, including some deep stats, some deeper analytics. And then we're not done. We're not done just yet. Right here, Caden Kittler. Now, see, that one fit the screen perfectly. Why couldn't the others do that, damn it? This is another good one. Typical center size, 6'3", 295. I mean, that's okay. That's, again, not very many 6'8" centers out there. You want them little, you want them built lower to the earth, lower center of gravity. Again, another one with some really good pass block grade. I mean, you could kind of see a theme here. You could see a theme. And this was something that, if I remember right, Jac'Qawn McCroy was known for his footwork and his pass block part of his game. So we see what they're doing. They are clearly trying to get pieces up front on the offensive line that will give Green time. Solid pass block grade. 709 snaps last year, gave up just 9 hurries. 895 career snaps, just 12 hurries, 0 sacks. You see what they're doing. Now, I want to point something out. Centers, it's rare that they give up a lot of sacks because that's usually not where the pressure's coming unless you blitz right up that gap. But again, that's still impressive. It's still really impressive considering his snaps, the amount of snaps, almost 900 career snaps with no sacks and just 12 hurries. That's very impressive. Again, he's out of UCF. Corey Robinson out of Georgia Tech. You saw the improvement at Georgia Tech last year. Jaden Platt, who's out of Texas A&M. Cam Shanks is out of UAB. They got Ken Talley, who's out of Michigan State. I don't know, man. I'm hoping he just had kind of a rough career at Michigan State. It seems like and no disrespect, but it just seems like a depth chart piece. I could be wrong. He could come in and be a All-American, make Michigan State eat their hearts out. Are we going to have to overpay by 25% or more to get any talent to come here? Is that going to hurt us in other places? That is the question, right? What are they going to do when they're spending all this money on? There's no doubt in my mind they probably had to pay up for these two right here that I just mentioned, these two offensive linemen, and McRoy too out of Oregon. I mean, come on, this guy was big time out of high school, 4-star in the 24 class. He's got a lot of eligibility left, and they love that too, right? That's leverage to that player and his agent. Another guy I do like is Kenny Walker out of OU. He gave up just 14 catches off like 30. I don't have it in front of me. It's like 35 attempts or something. He kind of stands out, and he's taller, and he's bigger, and he's leaner. 6'2", 6'3", about 205, 210 pounds. Decent grades, not mind-blowing. Bunch of snaps, like 800, 900 career snaps or something. And I'm pretty sure he was a sub 49% allowed receptions defensive back, corner. So you're getting a guy that's got some playing time under his belt. He's bigger, probably going to be more proven than – I mean, right there, you feel like that's an upgrade, right? I mean, Arkansas secondary was atrocious. It was not good. You had moments, right? You had some moments. You had some games where you felt pretty confident about what they were doing, and then just kind of felt like it fell apart. We got some more portal visits. Now, Ismail Mahdi, the running back, I'm pretty sure he visited. And I think that was a couple days ago. Very big on him. Now, I have not looked. I'm pretty sure he hasn't committed to anybody yet. 5'9", 180 pounds. He's out of Texas State. Really good player. He's supposed to have already been on campus. Adrian Maddox out of UAB. Jordan Young out of Cincinnati. Delano Townsend out of UAB. That's an offensive lineman. That's another guy. And these are guys I got to make their profiles in these target lists for Patreon supporters. Omega Blake is a big one. 6'2", 6'3", roughly about 185 pounds out of Charlotte. This is a guy we've known about and we've talked about for a while in our Patreon chat, or at least since we started keeping up with it this year, since he put his name in the portal. Arkansas they have an offer out, and he's supposed to visit like today. And then you still got Kavion Broussard, offensive lineman out of Ole Miss. Quintavious Scandrett, that's my favorite name right now out of the portal. If that's not a key impel, you know what I'm talking about. Quintavious Scandrett, that is such a great football name. And Justice Boone, who was on campus, we can confirm this. He was on campus today, defensive end out of Florida, 6'4", 270. He's on campus. So his numbers don't blow you away on ESPN, but a guy that was, if I briefly looked at his profile, I think he was a 4-star out of high school, highly sought after. A lot of activity, guys. The portal is a son of a bitch to keep up with. I'm not going to lie to you. It is a son of a bitch. To try and get all these names, you got to pull all their – that's what I do anyways, right, when I'm building their profile for Patreon supporters. You got to pull from all these different places, find what information you can, their snap count, where they were lining up at, some things that stand out about the player, and then some things that may not be so great, right? We had a receiver Arkansas was targeting, commit elsewhere. What was his name? Hold on. I've got 500 names in my head, and they're just kind of Hester out of OU, J.J. Hester. He signed with Kentucky. I'm not you shouldn't be butthurt over that one. This guy, there's nothing that really I'm not saying he won't go to Kentucky and be great. It could have just been Oklahoma. Maybe he was cursed at OU. We know they've had problems on offense. Sometimes it's not just the receiver, right? It's the quarterback. Sometimes it's not the quarterback. It's his receivers. It's his offensive line. It is complicated. You can't always just look at their numbers. But this is not someone, out of high school, he ran like a 4.7 40 or 4.65 40. He did play at Booker T in Tulsa. Caught 14 of 27 targets. That's 52%. He's got a really bad fumble grade, according to PFF, at 43.5. Some of that, again, it could be something that was going on at Oklahoma. We know, again, that offense was a mess. And maybe he'll go to Kentucky and be great. It doesn't feel right saying that out loud. But I don't think that's a huge mess. I like his size. I like those big-bodied 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", 200-plus pound receivers. I do. Size doesn't always, mean as much as we think it does, but not someone that really stood out in the portal compared to other receivers. However, DT Sheffield, North Texas, he's going to go to the Rutgers. Arkansas swung and missed on him, and I can tell you right now, I can confirm they were all over this dude. This guy's catch radius or catch ratio is like 71%, was targeted almost 100 times. He caught almost 70 of those. Lined up multiple places on the offensive side of the ball. He doesn't have a good fumble grade. His fumble grade was pretty bad. He was a former JUCO player. He played at Washington State and then at North Texas. He was at Arkansas's bowl practice, and I can tell you he was a heavy lean. I can almost guarantee you he was probably a silent commit until he wasn't. And that's the way this works. This is why sometimes you just got to let it play itself out. You're not going to always see me post the first thing that I hear. I'm not going to post it. Anymore, I just sit on top of the information until I get more people confirming, right? Because you just don't know. We've already been torched. Everyone in that Discord, no one's batting 1,000. By the way, not very many people are. That includes Facebook folks, Twitter. Everyone now. It's they're getting their information and they're not always right, and it's just important to sometimes not rush to try to be the first. And believe me, I've heard some stuff that's like, oh man, I really want to share this, but I've decided not to. And there's some people in our Discord, but sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but we've got folks that are batting really well, though. They got good numbers. They're doing really good. We're getting some good intel in there. And then sometimes you get little things here and there, like, enjoyed his visit and so on and so forth, and here's what we know, and you get little things like that that's pushed into that Patreon chat. But Justice Boone was on campus today. They offered, and Quintavious, by the way, this dude is big. He's a safety. He's 6'3", 200 pounds. Really good PFF numbers out of Eastern Michigan. I like this dude a lot. I love a big safety. Guy that's like 6'3", 6'4", 2+. He did get some snaps at corner, kind of played a little bit in the secondary, a little bit of everywhere, but most of his snaps, he had over 1,000 snaps at free safety. So there's some names to keep up with. There's some folks that I'm sure I do expect some more commitments this weekend before Christmas. I can share this. There was a commitment that sounded like it was going to happen sooner than later, and now it looks like it might be later, might be after Christmas now. But so just expect, I'm just saying that to say it's not going to be the string of commits like some folks were told, including myself. Some of those have now are a little bit more sparsed out because, let's be real, they're going to entertain the idea of going to the Rutgers and seeing what they have to offer, what they're going to do as far as putting them in their offense. And, of course, you're battling with NIL. That's the battle. That's the battlefield. It's the NIL. And I don't know if Arkansas is losing these battles because of NIL. I don't know if it's because of the Sam Pittman as your head coach. I don't know. Maybe they don't like almost said Brett Bielema. Bobby Petrino. If they don't like Travis Williams and the staff. I don't know. But they have swung and missed, and that's natural. You're going to when it comes to the portal. I'll say this. It feels about like last year. Swung and missed on some really nice pieces last year, and guess what? Those were areas on the field this year they sucked at. Right now, wide receiver to me is still not good. It's not good. It's not in a good place. I don't have a lot of confidence there. We all know how this works out too. We'll see what happens during spring camp and then over the course of the summer and fall camp. But they got their work cut out for them. But I don't think they're done there. We know they're not. There's gonna be some more receivers committed. They're gonna get some more receivers, and maybe they'll surprise us. Courtney Crutchfield, I'll just say I feel really confident he's gonna be a Razorback. That could change tonight. Hell, as soon as I'm done here, he may have already committed somewhere. Probably Ole Miss. You never know, right? I mean, this thing changes by the hour. But, yeah, I do think they're going to grab some better pieces at wide receiver. I hope. You hope. We all hope. The coaching staff hopes. It does seem like they are swinging and missing on some names that would have been instant fillers, instant starters. But that's just part of it. That is. All right. For optics, I think they did good for the O-line. The O-line so far is nice. I mean, I'm all in on that. Corey Robinson was a hell of a get, y'all. That was a hell of a get. That pass block grade is, I think that's the best they've done in the portal. Like, I'm trying to think. Like last year, I don't know that anyone, as far as like playing in a P3, P4 conference, right? Now, Carmona had pretty good grades, if I remember. But he played at San Jose State. That's not the same as Georgia Tech. But I don't even remember if his pass block grade was that high. That's a very nice grade. And those, again, it's not the grade necessarily. It's 539 snaps last year, 0 sacks, just 3 hurries. Worth watching. I'm just saying. That's pretty good. Caden Killer. I like him too. I like his build. Like what I've heard, like what people have told me. I like him a lot. And again, another guy who's a key piece up front as far as the pass blocking goes, right? And, of course, we still got to wait and see what happens with Jac'Qawn McCroy. It's nice to get all like, oh, my God, this guy, former 4-star, he went to Oregon for a year. What a get, Sometimes those guys don't always pan out like we hope they do. But Jac'Quan's got he's got some promise for sure. So, all right. I appreciate everyone for being here. I hope I didn't burn you too much with Arkansas's biggest commit. The biggest commit, really. Let's be real. Right there. That's Arkansas's biggest commit. Let's not even kid ourselves. 5'9", probably $180, soaking wet, playing the mic. Are you kidding me? Bobby Boucher. I mean, this guy's background, this guy's story, just incredible. Went from a water boy walk-on, at one point deemed ineligible to play, and then he got in, he took the test, he was in, he could play. His girlfriend, a little chaotic, a little crazy. That's a good get right there. That's a good get. That's his PFF numbers. His PFF numbers, you know what they say next to his numbers? H2O. Damn. That's a good one right there. All right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. Give them a call. Check out their link provided for you down below. And I will see you, hopefully, one more time before Christmas. But if not, Merry Christmas. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Oh, we got to end the poll. Hold on. Let's end the poll. 57% of you say it's decent. There you go. 57% say decent. I agree. That's where I would vote. Absolutely. All right. Play the outro, and I'll see you guys next week.